everybody, and welcome to another Joe Somebody cruise video. I only get to make one a year because I can't afford to take more vacations than that, but I think this one's going to be good. Like always, this year we went on a Carnival cruise. This is Carnival cruise number 5 for me and number 3 for my wife, and on this one we were on the Carnival Freedom, which is 952 feet long, and we were on a 6-day cruise that went to Key West, Grand Cayman, and Ocho Rios, Jamaica. This cruise gave me a total of 28 days that I've spent on board Carnival ships, and you only have to have 25 to become a gold member, so now I'm a gold member. Being a gold member in the VIFP club does not really give you a whole lot of great, wonderful perks. It does, however, get you this great little pin on a thank you card. It gets you access to the little captain's party where you've got some free cocktails and appetizers and stuff before dinner one night on the cruise, and a couple other things. This was the first cruise we've ever taken out of the Port Everglades cruise terminal. I've left from Port Canaveral, I've left from Jacksonville, but I've never left from Port Everglades, which is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So it was a little bit longer of a drive than we're used to. It was we split it into 2 days on the way down there. So it was like 8 hours one day and 3.5 hours the next day. And I started off by shooting a little bit of a pre-cruise video. The morning we left, I sat down with my camera and said a few things. So I'm going to start there, and then as needed, you'll see me back here on this beautiful white background to give you some explanation as to what's coming up. I'm at home right now in Commerce, Georgia. We were fixing to leave in a couple hours. We're going to go down to Wildwood, Florida and stay in a hotel that we've already arranged down there for tonight. Wake up in the morning and go the rest of the way down to Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale, where we will board the ship at about 1:30 is when they start boarding, and hopefully leave port by about 4:00 p.m. As long as traffic is good, the weather so far looks good, I think that day one's going to be pretty smooth. After a whole lot of driving, we finally made it here to Wildwood, Florida, where we've checked into the Sleep Inn and Suites. And my GPS tried to get us lost on the way here for some reason. We pretty much came straight to the exit, and we got off, and it told me to go like 5 miles out of the way and then turn around and come right back where we had just come from, and then bam. Turns out the hotel was right beside the interstate, so that was kind of strange, but we did make it. It's a pretty decent room. We got a king-size bed in here, and then, you know, it's just your average roadside hotel, nothing spectacular, but we got a bite to eat, and we have that's all there is to do here in Wildwood, but that's okay. That's all we plan to do. We got a bite to eat. We're gonna get some sleep, wake up early, and hit the road again, and hopefully be in Port Everglades sometime around 12:30 or 1. We can't start boarding the ship until 1:30, so there's no sense in getting there too early, but at the same time, you know, if we run into any traffic problem or anything, I think I do want to get up and get moving as early as we possibly can. One of the great things about this hotel is I found it online at hotels.com. I reserved it for, it was like 85 bucks. And pretty decent room. We get a free breakfast in the morning before we leave. So I don't know if that's a great price, but it was within the budget that I had set for getting a hotel room for the night. So it worked out good, and so I'm gonna get some sleep, and I will pick back up where I left off tomorrow. At this point of the video, we've made it to the cruise ship, and something unusual happened on this cruise. Normally when we get on the ship, the cabins aren't ready yet. So what you do is you take your carry-on luggage and you go ahead and go to the Lido restaurant and eat a little bit of food, and then later they'll tell you the cabins are ready and you can go down and drop off your carry-on luggage and change and go to the pool or whatever. But this time that wasn't the case. As soon as we got on board, they told us that the rooms were already ready, so we went straight to our room, dropped off our luggage, and then began to get a bite to eat and explore the ship a little bit. It is day 2 on the Carnival Freedom, and we're having a pretty good time. Today was our stop in Key West, Florida, which I had never been to before. So we got off the boat. We were originally going to go down to the Higgs Beach area we heard a lot about. But instead of going to Higgs Beach, we were directed towards Fort Taylor, which is a Florida state park with beach access. So when we got off the ship, we explored around a little bit. I believe that area is called Mallory Square. And then we walked through a neighborhood, actually, and ended up at this fort place, which apparently had some sort of famous fort there or something, but we didn't even care at that point. We'd been walking, we were hot, so we changed clothes. We did find the beach, and we had a fairly good time there. The only problem with the beach at this location is that there's lots of rocks everywhere. I know not all beaches are perfectly powdery sandy and everything, but this was so rocky it was actually hard to get down into the water without, I mean, my feet are still kind of hurting from doing that. My wife was actually unable to get into the water because she didn't want to hurt her feet doing that. So that was a little disappointing, I guess. We talked to the guy that brought us back on the little pedally bicycle thing, and he said that, yeah, Key West just doesn't have great beaches. So that being said, I don't know if Higgs Beach would have been a better solution or if it would have had the same issue, but that was the only real drawback we had. We did enjoy laying out, and the water was a good temperature. It was fairly clean. So other than the rocks, fairly good time at Fort Taylor. Apparently has a thing for statues. I'm not really sure what that's about. Key West is hot. Ain't it, honey?
Huh?
Key West is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since Key West is still part of the United States, both AT&T and Verizon phones still had service without roaming there, so we were able to communicate with our friends and post more Facebook updates. After enjoying the beach at Fort Zachary Taylor State Park, we decided we were too tired from walking the couple miles I think it was to get there, so we decided to pay one of the little guys that has the bicycle cart to take us back to the ship. I think we paid him like $15 and he pedaled us pretty much right back the way we walked. When we got back on the ship that day, we explored a little bit more of the ship. I took some shots of the lobby, some bars, the theater, dining rooms, casino, and a little bit in the arcade. After all that exploring, we decided to go back to the cabin and be random. In this next segment, we're exploring the ship in the evening. And it's very important that you leave your cabin every evening to check out the activities that are on board the ship during the evenings, because it's different from night to night. This is the Statue of Liberty inside the Lido restaurant. And of course we had to stop by Swirls and get our ice cream feel. Every evening there's music playing in the lobby and people will dance down there. What's kind of weird is while I was filming this clip, they were actually doing Country Boys and Girls Getting Down on the Farm, which was kind of odd to hear on a cruise ship. The next segment is going to be footage from our day in Grand Cayman in the Cayman Islands. And Grand Cayman is a beautiful, beautiful place. And just lots to see there, so here we go. That morning before getting off in Grand Cayman, we decided to go up and look around at our surrounding areas, and we noticed that we were actually anchored near the Carnival Paradise. There was a small pirate ship running around, so it was actually a pretty neat looking place. Grand Cayman is one of the ports where you don't dock directly, at the port, where you drop anchor and take a tender boat ride in. And the tender boat ride was actually fairly short compared to last year when we were in Belize. And as soon as you get off the tender boat, there's a beautiful place to take pictures. We looked around at the shopping area a little bit before taking a taxi to 7 Mile Beach. Now apparently 7 Mile Beach is 7 miles long. I think that's where they get its name from. But the particular part of 7 Mile Beach that we went to, I believe, was owned by a hotel. So we had to pay $2 per person to get into this area, but it gave us a pool, a bar, there was a grill there, and beach access. And I'm telling you, it was one of the most beautiful places that we've ever been. The beach itself had some of the clearest, most beautiful water I've ever seen, and the sand was powdery white sand. It was just a really gorgeous place. While we were there, we did have some big, dark, ominous-looking clouds come up, but we never actually got any rain. This next section is going to be food from the formal dining room. We were assigned to the posh dining room, so of course I only have video from there, but I'm assuming that the chic dining room was very similar to this one. After dinner, we went back to our cabin. It's always a nice surprise to see what kind of towel animal you've got left on your bed. Kind of last minute, we decided we wanted to go see the talent show that they do on board. There weren't that many people in the talent show. I think there were 4. The first one that came on was actually the best, but it was a pretty good time. The talent show was hosted by the cruise director Brad, who told us that after the talent show there was going to be a deck party with some Mexican food. The deck party was a pretty popular place to be. There was loud music, there was dancing, and as promised there was Mexican food. This next segment of video is going to be from our day in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Ocho Rios is an absolutely beautiful port. I mean, you're docked right there, you can see the beach, you can see boats, jet skis out there running around. It's just a really beautiful place. The worst things about Jamaica is, as beautiful as it is, you kind of feel weird being there. There's a lot of people that just want to beg and haggle with you over prices of stuff. They just hand you necklaces that they've made or a head that they've whittled out of wood, and then they want to charge you a lot of money for it, and they act like they get their feelings hurt if you don't give them the money that they're asking for. For some reason, my wife got sun poisoning while we were on this cruise, so we decided it was probably in our best interest to not go to the beach or to spend too much time in the sun. So instead, while we were in Ocho Rios, we took a bus tour. And we noticed that the gas sign here says 26.90, but that's not dollars and it's not per gallon. Now, this bus tour also had some passengers that went to Dun River Falls, so we went up there to drop them off, but we did not go to Dun River Falls because it's $20 per person to get in. Instead, the driver took us to a much smaller area where there's waterfalls that dump into the ocean, but it's free to get in, and there were some nice people there to escort you through, work your way down to the bottom of the falls to get your picture taken. Alright, hold on. Did you see that? That was an angry woman with a stick that was on fire that sounded like a rooster. Not that the stick sounded like the rooster, but the lady sounded like a rooster. Let's watch it again. Oh, rooster lady. Back to the tour. So the tour continued up the side of like a mountainy kind of area on some really tiny roads. We had to pull off to the side so other cars could pass, and it got kind of snaky up through there. But we did eventually come to an area where you could actually see down to where the ship was docked, and you could see the beach area, and it was just a really beautiful place to stop and take a little footage and a couple pictures and stuff. And at one point near this area, I actually asked the bus driver if I could open the window because the windows were tinted and it was kind of messing with the camera, and he said sure. So I opened the window, and then all these people that were standing on the side of the road came running over there and handed me necklaces and trinkets and stuff through the window trying to get us to buy them. So we actually I took one picture and slid the window back shut. I started to feel a little sick actually on the tour bus for some reason. It was pretty hot and the roads were really winding, and I just didn't feel good. So I asked the driver, hey man, I'm not feeling good. Could you hurry up and take us back to the ship? And boy, he stepped on it back to the ship. I don't know if he thought I was going to throw up in the bus or what, but he flew back to the ship for me. And then of course I've got a few clips from dinner that night. And since the next day was a day at sea, the only thing I really filmed that day was also our dinner that night, which was our last night on the ship. Since it was our last night on the ship, I asked my wife what her favorite and least favorite parts of the cruise were, and here are her answers. What was your favorite thing about this cruise?
The beach at Grand Cayman.
What was your least favorite thing about this cruise?
Oh, sun poisoning.
Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this cruise video. I know that I definitely enjoyed our vacation. I enjoyed filming it, I enjoyed editing it. I really like what I do with these videos, and I hope you guys will share it and favorite it and like it and all those good things that people do when they enjoy content. The pictures I took with my camera I'm going to put on my photo blog, which I will link to down below. Those same pictures and some pictures that my wife took on her iPhone I'm going to upload to my Facebook page, so you can check those out there. And of course there will be links for ways to connect to me in the description down below. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Joe Somebody, and I'm tired now.